scheduled to go live later this year with a credit push only real-time payment system. The payments actually routed not only in payment transactions but also non-payment transactions that we really think will add to the value of the system. Things are going well. We expect several banks on by the end of the year, as well as most of TCH owner banks on next year, as well as others. It's really not the number of banks, but really the coverage that becomes important, and we're anticipating with the banks that will have engaged to the end of 2018, close to having half of the DDAs in the country covered. We've been really engaged with technology providers throughout the industry. In fact, we're here at Sibos, and during this time, pretty much a lot of the exhibitors that are exhibiting downstairs are engaged in one form or another, and they're really there to provide services to the thousands of financial institutions in the country. In the U.S. market, as you start moving away from batch systems and start looking at dealing in real time, not only from a technology standpoint, but how we think about payments, how you present the payments to your customers, what channels you need available, how you operate in that way, and from a financial institution standpoint, how do you develop and sell products that are based on a real-time system, that are not batch-based? And I think that's been a big challenge in thinking about how we do it. I was at one of our large treasury conferences in the U.S. speaking to a room full of corporates, and the excitement was palpable. They're starting to ask their banks about these products, especially if you look at what real-time payments bring. A lot of times when you first talk to folks, they think that it's just the speed of the payment, i.e. the money's moving faster, but it's really so much more. As one of my colleagues, Steve Ledford, likes to say, we've got the Yoda principle in real-time payments. Do or do not, there is no try. Either a payment happens or it doesn't. And just that simple transparency in a payment brings a lot of value. Building a real-time platform that's based on XML, based on ISO 20022, that lends itself to a digital channel very nicely. We're seeing a lot of interest in how banks are developing their products for that channel, particularly for the retail market. There's an ISO 20022 real-time payments drafting group that's bringing a lot of the market infrastructures and folks that are doing real-time payments together in order to make sure we're talking the same language, so that when we're ready to move to interoperability, at least from a technical and a message standards format, we've got that done. We all need to learn how to operate before we can interoperate. Certainly the good news is we're all working towards that goal collectively. Zelle is becoming the predominant P2P solution in the U.S. market. We're certainly looking forward to working with them to be able to interoperate both the Zelle network as well as RTP. Certainly we have a shared ownership, and more important to that, I think the leadership at both companies sees the value in bringing the assets that both organizations have to the financial market in the U.S. We're all moving towards the new way of consuming data, and certainly with that, everything's becoming real time.